Hey mamas, it's your girl Carrie, and welcome back to another episode of Mom Life, Career Life. Today's episode is going to be a little different. No jingle, no tips, just some vulnerable, honest, here's where I'm at in life realness. It is episode 300, which is a really, really big deal for this full time corporate world, mom of three, trying to do all the things while trying to make her dreams happen. And 300 is honestly bringing up a lot of mixed emotions for me. I'd really like to say that the first one is pride, the fact that I had a dream that involved starting a podcast, and through all of life's ups and downs over the past almost 3 years, I've never missed a week of releasing an episode. And the past 2 years, I've actually released 2 episodes a week, which is pretty freaking amazing for me. And I get asked all the time how I do it, work full time, parent, have a life, do all the things. And what it really comes down to is determination mixed with a little bit of insanity. And the other emotion that is coming up for me is disappointment. And I hate even going there. But one of the things that I really pride myself on with the show is that I'm always honest, or at least as honest as I can be. There are some topics and things that I do not go too deep in on the show, mainly around my kids' personal lives or the intimacy in my marriage. Those are agreements and boundaries that I agreed with for us and the kids on. But otherwise, anything that comes to me, I'm pretty honest about. And I'd be lying if I said that I am exactly where I saw myself or where I dreamed I'd be when I hit 300. I honestly thought that I'd be out of the corporate world by now, that I'd have all my courses built and I'd be coaching full time. But God had other plans for me, and I'm trying so hard to be patient and to understand what I'm supposed to take away from every roadblock that He put in front of me. 2025 was supposed to be my year. I had a game plan, I had momentum. I built a workshop that I was so proud of. I learned all the things on how to launch and how to release and how to present and how to create workbooks. And I did all the things. I released it live, it went great. And then the very next morning, as I was walking Russ to the train, feeling on top of the world, telling him how freaking proud I was that I finally actually did it, a weird sensation came over my body and I thought I was having a stroke. And I ended up going home and I told the kids to go to school and I called myself an Uber and I went to the emergency room. And that day absolutely rocked my world. It wasn't a stroke, thank God, but then the testing began to see what it was. They ruled out complex migraines, and then they thought it was possibly epilepsy. And I made the mistake of Dr. Google, and I honestly had myself convinced for weeks that I had a brain tumor, and that was what was causing all these symptoms because I had a few episodes after the really bad one, and it was affecting my vision. So a brain tumor actually made sense to me. And then every time a test result would pop up in my patient portal, I would hesitate to check it because of what it might say. And looking back, I know that I was a little crazy, but the episodes I was having just didn't make sense to me. And Googling symptoms is the absolute worst thing you could do. I tell people that all the time, but when you're worried and you're waiting weeks for test results to come in, it's hard not to do it. So I did it, and it was just a very tough few weeks for me, on top of the other tough things that I was dealing with that I can't talk about the show because of those boundaries I mentioned earlier. And fast forward through all the testing, they ruled out everything, and all that was left as a possibility is anxiety. So my neurologist believes that that's what was happening. It was a form of anxiety or panic attack, which I'm still not completely convinced that they were, because when it first happened, I was honestly the happiest I'd been in such a long time. But what I've been learning through all of my research, and not just Dr. Google, is that the buildup of stress in your body can do crazy things. And anxiety can hit no matter what your mental state is. And especially as you're getting into perimenopause, all the hormonal changes, anxiety creeps up. But honestly, getting every scan and every test done and ruling out anything major gave me a lot of peace of mind. So I'm doing so much better. My brain looks completely normal, and I haven't had an episode in months. But that was my summer. And then at the end of the summer, my friend Mare passed away from breast cancer. And that hit me really hard. I did an entire episode dedicated to her. And if you haven't listened to it yet, it's a good one. It's 10 lessons loss has taught me. I link it in the show notes. But she was such a young mom with such beautiful light and such a big part of our town. And it was such a big loss for all of us. And just as life was starting to get back to normal, and this one is really hard for me to share, 2 of my daughter's classmates were murdered just a couple of blocks from my house by another teen who was stalking one of them. And it actually made the national news. So you might have seen it. I can't talk too much about it because I won't get through this episode, but it was a really Tough time for me, a tough time for my kids, a tough time for our town. And in the middle of all of that was college applications and essays and school visits and the pain of going through that process, knowing that there are two moms that should be doing the same thing with their daughters, but they were robbed of the opportunity. So it was really, really tough. And during all of that, I was really unhappy at work. And then God, in his greatness, opened a door for me and I jumped right through it with the utmost trust. But it was back into a demanding, high pressure role right around the holidays. So, yeah, 2025 was a lot to deal with, but we get through the hard times. And yes, through all of that, I never missed releasing an episode. But I'm going to be honest, the thoughts have started to go through my head about taking a pause. Work is still crazy. The college stuff has become a part-time job, which I promise I'm going to do an episode or two on my lessons learned from this entire process because I've learned a ton, and no matter what age your kids are, you will benefit from it. And along with the college stuff is the senior year activities and all the stuff that two other kids are doing. And I still get up before 30 in the morning, but some of that time is spent on college stuff. Some of that time is spent on personal stuff that I didn't get to the night before. Like this morning, I spent a half hour doing an Amazon return, which if you're an avid listener, you know that I did challenge myself not to purchase anything on Amazon for the month of January. And I even took it as far as not purchasing anything online. But once February came, I went straight to the cart and maybe went a little overboard. But in my defense, the girls needed some undergarments. So I had to buy a couple of different brands and a couple of different sizes to see what actually fit them. And then I went on a trip to Nashville with my mom and my sister. And I wanted to have a cute shirt or two. So I bought a bunch. And again, in a couple of colors and sizes. I think I actually only kept one item from all of it. Nothing fit the girls, and I only kept one of the sweaters. So, yeah, and Amazon does not make it easy to make returns. You can't just click every item that you want to return in one go. It's line by line, and then you have to answer like 3 questions for each items, especially around clothes, and put comments in, and then trying to organize it all, what pieces go with what QR codes. It took forever. I ended up spending my morning doing that. And then before you know it, it's time to go into mom mode, get the kids up, help them at the door, and then log on to work. And by the time work is over, I'm just so mentally drained. And I know some of you are totally feeling what I'm saying right now. And it's in those ordinary, chaotic mornings, Amazon returns, the rushing, the juggling, that I started realizing something about this season of life and what I realized at episode 300. I realized that my priorities have shifted. Right now, my health is an absolute priority. And after last summer, I'm not playing games with my body. Sleep matters, stress management matters, paying attention to what my nervous system is telling me matters. And my other priority is soaking up every last minute of having all 3 kids under the same roof because Ashley is a senior, like I mentioned, and right now her top choice of college is a plane ride away, a plane ride. And I am totally not emotionally ready for that. I might have a lot of tears coming up on the show. Our family dynamic is about to drastically change. The dinners, the random kitchen conversations, the chaos, the noise, the extra pile of shoes at the door, the extra driver that drives her sister to and from school and does practice pickups. It's all about to shift, and no amount of business growth is going to replace that. So maybe episode 300 isn't about saying I made it. Maybe it's about saying I'm still becoming, because I'm becoming more aware of my limits, more protective of my peace, less attached to my own timelines, and more surrendered to God's. And honestly, the spiritual growth that I've gone through in the past year is by far my biggest area of growth, which I'm so thankful for. And I'm not where I thought I'd be, but maybe I'm exactly where I need to be right now. I'm building, I'm learning, growing, mothering, healing, working a little bit too much, but I'm showing up. And maybe that's the point. Maybe we don't arrive. Maybe we just keep becoming. And maybe that's why God put it on my heart to do the Becoming Her series at the end of last year. And if you're sitting there thinking that I'd be further along by now too, you're not alone and you're not behind. You're becoming too. And maybe that's enough for this season. And I want to say this because I think someone needs to hear it. And honestly, I think I probably need to hear it too. There are seasons where growth looks so loud. Big wins, big leaps, big announcements, the kind of seasons where everything seems to just be moving fast forward and everyone around you can see it. And then there are seasons where growth looks quiet. It looks like choosing to rest when your brain's telling you to go, saying No when you used to say yes, staying when you thought you'd already be gone, showing up tired but still present, letting go of the timelines that you're so attached to. This season of my life, it doesn't look flashy. It looks like protecting my health. It looks like doctor's appointments and boundaries. It looks like sitting at the dinner table longer than usual. It looks like soaking in every chaotic, noisy, ordinary moments with my kids that we sometimes take for granted because I know that clock is ticking. It looks like watching my baby girl step into her future while my heart quietly panics because that future might be a plane right away, which I'm still in somewhat disbelief of. And I think so many of us are carrying that kind of tension, wanting so much more while also wanting to freeze time, wanting growth while still holding tight to what we have now. And here's what I'm learning. You don't have to rush through seasons just because it doesn't match your vision board. You don't have to prove anything right now. You don't have to justify why things are taking longer than you thought they would. This season, it still counts. Your consistency, your showing up counts. Your decision to protect your peace counts. Your choice to prioritize your health, to be present with your family, that all counts. And you're not failing because you're still here, and you're not behind because you haven't even arrived, and you're not less ambitious because you're honoring your limits. Sometimes the bravest things that you can do is stay rooted when everything wants you to sprint. Sometimes success, it's not about acceleration, it's about alignment. And maybe the real work right now isn't building faster, it's becoming steadier, more grounded, more intentional, more connected to what actually matters. So if you're listening to this thinking right now, just as I was, I thought I'd be further right now. I thought this year would look different. I feel proud and disappointed at the same time. I see you. You're not broken. You're not doing it wrong. You're not alone. You're still becoming. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly where you're supposed to be. And before I wrap up today, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you for making the choice to pop in those earbuds, to scroll to my little podcast tile and hit play, to spend part of your day here with me. I know how valuable your time is. As working moms, every minute of our day is spoken for. So the fact that you choose to show up here week after week truly means more to me than you probably realize. So thank you for helping this little dream of mine grow. And honestly, thank you for helping me keep showing up because I've mentioned on this show before, podcasting is hard. It's not like social media where you post something and instantly see likes or comments that tell you people connected with. Podcasting can sometimes feel a little bit like talking to the void some days. The only clues that I have that it's resonating with people are that my downloads keep growing and that some of you take the time to rate the show or leave a review, and some of you reach out to me on Instagram, which I'm telling you right now, those DMs light me up more than you know, and they always seem to come at a time when I'm struggling the most. And all those things matter more than you realize. So I'm going to end episode 300 with a small ask. If you haven't rated the show yet, it would really mean so much to me if you would just take a minute, hit those 5 stars, and if you have an extra minute, leaving a few words about what you love about the show helps other moms find the show too. And if you want to take it one step further, share this podcast with a mom friend who you think it would help, or drop it into one of your Facebook mom groups. Those little shares make such a big difference for me, and they help this message reach the exact mom who needs it. So thank you for being here. Thank you for growing with me, and thank you for being part of my first 300 episodes. And wherever you are in your journey right now, just remember, you're not behind, you're becoming. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life. Or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat.